And welcome back to Hypetrain, our part 2 of the Oversimplified Pig War. If you've not seen our part 1 reaction, I'll leave a link at some point up there. Yeah, we've already got to see how like a lot of it was all about the confusion about how they were going to draw the line in between the borders and that.
The land, isn't it? Really, that's all what it's down to.
That's where it all started off. But we've just recently, spoiler alert if you're not seeing it, but yeah, we've just recently seen said pig been shot. Yeah. Is it all going to be the start of one pig being shot?
Maybe. Yeah. That's interesting, that.
But well, the other thing is, it's a long episode, so we decided to split it into 2 bits anyway. But should we go for the second part?
Take a look.
He hated the British and was out for any opportunity to earn personal glory for himself. By some accounts, he even wanted to become president. And so, in July 1859, when he happened to visit San Juan Island, and he learned of the plight of the Americans living there, the shooting of a pig, and the British threat to arrest Lyman Cutler, General Harney went into scheme mode. Hey, yo, Captain Pickett. Yes, sir. Listen carefully. I need you to go pick up some flowers and bring them to my place later. I've got a plan. Here I am, sir. What's the plan? Pickett, you and I are going to start a war. What do you mean, sir? Okay, listen up. An American man shoots a worthless pig on San Juan Island, and the British threaten to arrest him. Outrageous. But we can use it. We get the settlers there to send us a petition saying they need American troops for protection. That's when you go with your men and occupy the island. The British will find American troops on an island they consider theirs so offensive, they won't hesitate to blow you to smithereens. Then, it's war. We bring in reinforcements and we fight back. I'll write to Washington, D.C., letting them know what's happening. But here's the kicker. My letter will take 6 whole weeks to get there, before the government even gets a chance to respond, telling me I'm an idiot and ordering me to cease fire. The island will be ours. Hell, we could even invade Vancouver Island or British Columbia. It's foolproof. Wow, very impressive, sir. But I gotta ask, why? Well, I'll level with you, Pickett. Historians still contest exactly what it is I'm trying to do here. It's possible I'm trying to expand America's territory. Maybe I'm trying to play the hero so I can become president. Some have even suggested that since I'm a slave-owning Southerner, I may be trying to create a diversion to help the South secede in the upcoming Civil War. But if there's one thing that almost everyone can agree on, it's that I'm an idiot. I see. But hold on, what'd you tell me to bring flowers for? Because, Pickett, they're pretty and I like them! There are also historians who believe that Harney and Pickett had no secret plan at all, and were not scheming masterminds, but simply hot-headed buffoons, genuinely outraged at the audacity of the British, and trying to protect American citizens. But the fact of the matter is, Pickett took the very controversial and extremely provocative act of landing American troops on disputed territory. He set up his camp in a very exposed position and erected a very provocative sign proclaiming that only American laws applied on the island. It was almost like he was asking to be fired upon. Or, again, maybe he was just an idiot. When a British official sent to the island to get rid of the unruly American settlers now saw that they were American troops, he demanded they leave. He was obviously told to go suck an egg. When Douglas found out, he was enraged. To him, the American landing constituted an invasion. Harney sent a report back to the War Department in D.C., justifying his actions with exaggerated claims of British villainy. But he knew it would take 6 weeks to get there, and another 6 weeks for their reply to come back. For now, the situation was entirely in the hands of local military and government officials, and the ball was in the British court. Would the temperamental Governor Douglas and the powerful British Navy respond to the American provocation with force? Were Britain and America really about to go to war over the shooting of a pig? Well, if one man were to have his way, it's entirely possible they would. James Douglas had already had Americans force him out of Oregon. They had threatened his position in Victoria during the Gold Rush. Now they had invaded his island, and he had had it. It was time to turn to the Royal Navy. You, Captain Hornby, go to the island and prevent any more Americans from landing. And take this magistrate with you to arrest Captain Pickett. Use force if necessary. Just don't do anything to start a war. Wait, you want me to use force but not start a war? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that too much to ask? princess! When Captain Hornby got to the island and saw that the American force there was even larger than expected, his concern grew. He sent word back to Douglas, who in response ordered even more ships to the island. And at this point, the naval officers were like, hey man, let's talk. They were concerned Douglas's escalation was leading them to war, and they convinced him it probably wasn't a terribly good idea to just go up to an American military captain with his armed men and say, hey bucko, you're under arrest. Please don't shoot me. Douglas gave in. To prevent any hostilities, he canceled all orders and told the Navy, for now, to simply keep an eye on the Americans. He did send one more ship for good measure. Captain Pickett, now seeing the British ships with their guns aimed directly at his exposed camp, said, see Jeff, look at that. We're about to get blown to bits, all according to plan. Hang on. Oh crap, Jeff, we're about to get blown to bits! Run! Pickett hastily moved his camp from its very exposed position to another position, which, as it happened,
Exposed,
was also very exposed. It probably won't surprise you to learn Pickett came dead last in his graduating class. Nearby American and British officials began showing up to ask Pickett what the heck he was even doing. Then, a bunch of tourists showed up, because a major war breaking out in their doorstep was the single most exciting thing to ever happen in any of their miserable frontier lives. One Charles Griffin was particularly unhappy. First his pig had been shot. Now his sheep pastures were being trampled by soldiers and tourists alike. He complained to Governor Douglas, who was still pretty upset about the whole thing. Douglas felt British honor itself was at stake. So he decided that if American forces were allowed to be on the island, well then by golly, the British should be there too.
There you go.
It would be a joint military occupation. Upon hearing Douglas's new plan to land British troops on the island, Captain Hornby decided to go speak with Pickett in person. After informing him of the plan, Pickett replied that if they dared land, he would open fire. So there they were. The British had orders to land. The Americans had orders to prevent their landing. This was it. War over a small island in the middle of nowhere. Over a pig and some potatoes. Over whether the US-Canada border looked like this or like this. It was stupid.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is stupid. To heck with it. I'm not landing those troops. I'm not gonna be the one who starts a war. The captain decided not to follow Douglas's order. And good thing he didn't, because pretty soon after that, the leading British admiral in the entire Pacific region showed up. Rear Admiral Baines outranked Governor Douglas. When he heard of everything that had been going on, he was stunned. But when he heard that Hornby had refused Douglas's plan to land troops, Baines could have kissed him. Whether he did or not, history doesn't tell. But I like to think they did. The Rear Admiral canceled all of Douglas's orders and instead pursued a policy of not interfering with the Americans until he could contact the British government. The Americans, not knowing the British no longer intended to land, had sent reinforcements and began fortifying. But even still, the British Navy did nothing.
They just sat there.
And finally, when word made it across the planet, informing the two governments of the ongoing crisis, everyone was shocked. Holy crap! Harney landed troops on disputed territory? Man, I hope the British don't find out about this. Buchanan? Oh crap! The British! Why are we getting reports of American troops on San Juan Island? Whoa. I don't know, man. Nothing to do with me. But you're the president.
Did he really not know about
Am I
it?
the president? Yes, sir. And hey, we got a problem. It looks like the southern states are considering
There was no
seceding,
internet
and
or
we're
phones.
headed for the
no.
biggest crisis in the history of the nation. And it's your job to fix it, sir. Sir? Oh no. Go away. Not the curtain again, Mr. President. I'm not here. Buchanan. Back in the Pacific Northwest, Harney was beginning to realize the government may not be terribly impressed with his reckless actions. So he began firing off even more aggressive letters, justifying what he had done. Tell him the British were sending bands of Indians to attack our men, and that they're big meanies with coal for hearts, and that they made me cry like a little girl. Wait, no, that makes me sound weak. They made me cry like a big girl. Yeah, that's it. When the president received Harney's new letters, his anxiety only grew stronger. Oh, crap. Hey, General Scott, please make this go away. Leave it to me, sir. General Winfield Scott was the commanding general of the entire U.S. Army. Well known for his negotiation
That's pretty
skills,
high.
he was a veteran of the Mexican-American War, during which time he had had to deal with General Harney's idiocy and insubordination. And he watched as Harney got away with it all, thanks to his friends in high places. It's safe to say that Scott really did not like General Harney. By now, General Scott was racked with gout, and he was so big, he had to be hoisted onto his ship in a basket. Nevertheless, he began the long journey
surely
to the
not.
Pacific Northwest. Okay, everyone, get over here. Will somebody please tell me what the heck is going on? I'll tell you, General. It all started on one fateful day last summer. Spuddy? All right, you damn dirty pig. That's the final straw. What? Hey, you can't get away from me! Look at that pig. Nowhere left to run, eh? I'm gonna enjoy this.
Lyman, if you spare my life, I grant you 3.
So you see, General, the pig wasn't even on his property when he shot it. Liar! He's lying to you, General. I'll tell you what really happened. What a pleasant summer's afternoon here on my humble farm. It's just me and my beloved potatoes. I'm so happy. Say, Lyman, them some nice spuds you got there. Would be a shame if somebody ate them. No, not again, you beast! Leave my potatoes alone! Yeah, I'm gonna eat them, Lyman. I'll eat them, and then I'm gonna eat you. Stay back! I'll shoot! Go ahead, punk. Make my day. Shoot me! Shoot me! He made me do it! He made me do it! So you're telling me you guys nearly started a war
pig.
with the strongest naval power in the world over the shooting of a pig? Yeah, now he's starting to get it. Not only the pig, sir. The British then threatened to arrest this poor, pure American soul. Thank you, General. Shut up. I don't care about you. Okay, I've made up my mind. You're an idiot. 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 You guys are fine. And you two are the most mind-numbingly brain-dead ding-dongs I've ever encountered in all my life, and I'll see you in my office. Okay, Harney, listen.
I reckon they're
couldn't
going
deal
to
with the
retreat.
Brits.
What do you reckon?
Here's how it's gonna
I
be.
reckon so.
Both
They'll
sides
give the
will maintain a
islands
small
back.
force on the island for a joint military occupation until our two governments can decide who owns the
maybe
island.
not.
Now, the only way they'd agree to that is if Pickett is removed from command, so I'm replacing him with Captain Hunt here. Now, Harney, listen to me. Do not, under any circumstances, put Pickett back on that island. Okay? I mean it, Harney. Do not order Pickett back onto the island. Understood?
As long as you get them happen.
Yes,
though.
sir.
Yeah.
Good. I'll see you, Glebos, later. Is he gone? I think so. Good. Hunt, you're fired. Pickett, you're going back on the island. All right, you psychopath. I've been waiting years for this. I hate you. I've always hated you. Harney had not only ordered Pickett back onto the island, but his department even notified the British that it did not recognize the joint occupation
Get
settlement,
wrecked.
while everyone else had decided on peace. Harney appeared to still be threatening war. Needless to say, a furious Winfield Scott
No,
soon
just-
removed
I was
him
gonna
from
say, yeah,
command
just remove him.
and sent him elsewhere. In Harney's absence, the joint occupation went ahead, and the troops actually got along together quite well. The
Okay.
British attended 4th of July celebrations at the American
Oh.
camp, while the Americans visited the British for Queen Victoria's birthday. Even Pickett became good friends with his British counterpart. War, it seemed, had been avoided, thanks largely to the level-headed actions of the Royal Navy and General Winfield Scott. Of course, the islands were still in dispute,
Yeah.
and the question of who exactly owned them still had to be
Yeah, how's
answered.
that going to turn out?
That
Straight
answer
line?
would have to wait, because while San Juan was at peace, the nation was tearing itself apart. When civil war broke out in 1861, the issue of San Juan just wasn't that important. Harney, despite being a Southerner, remained in the U.S. Army, but was eventually removed from command at St. Louis when his loyalty to the Union came under suspicion. More famously, Captain Pickett, a native Virginian, went on to become a Confederate general. Pickett's charge at the Battle of Gettysburg remains one of the most famous moments of the entire war and marked a major turning point. U.S. relations with Britain actually soured during the war. The British, missing their supply of southern cotton, initially looked like they may intervene on the side of the Confederacy. There was the Trent Affair, when Confederate diplomats were discovered and arrested on a British mail steamer. And then there were the British-built ships, sold to the Confederacy, that wreaked havoc on northern commerce. When the Civil War ended, furious American politicians called on the British to pay reparations. And by now, a long list of hot issues existed between them. And yes, on that list remained, 12 years later, still the issue of who owned
God, all
these
that time
gosh
later.
darn islands.
Crazy.
That issue, it was finally agreed, would be submitted to international arbitration. The Empire of Germany would decide, with the British
How's that
Americans
work?
presenting arguments. The American argument was reportedly presented with a little more pizzazz, a little more zing. And in the end, when the Germans made their decision, they awarded the San Juan Islands to the United States.
Surprised they didn't get it themselves.
When an aging Douglas heard the news, he said that there was no possible way the British argument had been presented correctly. But that was that. The British conceded, and on the 25th of November, 1872, the last British troops left the island. As the Americans
seems a
entered
bit
the British
harsh, I
camp
thought.
to raise their flag, they found that the British had removed the flagpole. One last off to Uncle Sam.
No, I hope that's true. Oh, I hope that's true.
And the Hudson's Bay Company eventually sold their sheep farm. And so, there you have it. A dangerous situation that almost brought two great powers to war, triggered by the shooting of a pig. But thanks to more level-headed minds and an eagerness for peace and cooperation, conflict was avoided. And the only casualty of this pig war was, well, just a pig. But how different could
God,
things
it could have
have
been
been?
horrendous.
What if the British had attempted to arrest Pickett? What if they had
Landed
landed
on it,
troops?
yeah.
Could the two sides have actually gone to war? Could America have invaded Canada? Could it, perhaps, still invade Canada? Think about it. Why not? We have the manpower. We have the arms. It's our manifest destiny. Picture a future where American Mounties wear red, white, and blue and hail the stars and stripes. Where Wayne
Okay.
Gretzky would wave the American flag every 4th of July in the streets of Montreal. Maple syrup, the greatest American food. Banff, the greatest American national park. One united nation under the leadership of our glorious president. Drake, no longer shall we tolerate our smart neighbors to the north with their affordable insulin and endless comments complaining that I don't talk about Canada enough in my videos. That's right, Canadians. Watch your backs. Sleep with one eye open tonight. Because Biden's coming, baby.
God.
And this time, he's coming with a
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, some sexy music going. I do love that. But it's great. That bit at the end, though. I have everything I took out of that. I hope they did really remove the flagpole. That was hilarious. Well, I like
that would be a British thing to do, wouldn't it?
that. You can have that, but you're not keeping that.
Where we put
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, that would be British sense of humour.
But also, need to remember just how close that war could have been. So many parameters going into that.
Yeah, thousands of people could have died, couldn't there? Needlessly, really. I mean,
We know the British Navy has always been the powerhouse, always was, weren't it? Throughout the centuries.
that was like the thing.
It was
They
the
went
thing,
everywhere,
and,
didn't they?
but to get on the land itself, that was a brave decision. Not to, to go against your own like superiors and that.
Yeah.
That was a one heck of a decision. And you always forget, like you said, we haven't got the internet or telephone back in them days, so it did take you like nearly 2 months to send a message from the west to the east.
Yeah, you had pony riding. I guess there'd have been someone on a pony going flat out.
Let us know your thoughts on anything to do with that episode down below. But yeah, that's just too close for comfort, and all for the shooting of one pig.
And what I like is the way that he shows it in a simple cartoon way, a bit of fun. and it's very easy to remember and understand afterwards.
Yeah, it is. It's we always say the Oversimplified channel. It's great stuff. It really is, and a lot of that stuff. The majority of it, anyway, could all be. It's fairly clean cut, so it can be shown to students and schools. So
Exactly.
It's a good way to. I'm sure there's a lot more going on there but it gives you the gist of.
Isn't it? So
that's the point.
But that's the idea of it. I mean, there's lots of history around the world, and if you remember all the pig wars, and you go, "Oh yeah, I remember roughly what happened." It's in the head.
Yeah, it's cleverly done. Be sure to subscribe, notification bell as we when more Oversimplified videos land, and then we're bound to cover them here sooner or later. So yeah, but no, anything down below, please. But that's been long enough episode. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next one.
Catch you on the flip side.